Welcome back to Out of the Rut. We are back. I'm X,
Billy,
and I'm Ron,
and we're back to reading some Reddit stories for you guys in a segment we like to call Rut Reads Reddit, where we go on to the Deciding to Be Better subreddit, confines of Reddit. I feel like we don't hear a lot about, and we read some stories and we put our input, or give our input rather. We put our input where it's put. We have a couple stories. I pulled some. Ron pulled a special one that he was super eager beaver to talk about, so that'll be kind of fun. And we'll just kind of see what happens from there. And if you ever want to submit your own Rut story, please reach out to us at outoftherut@yahoo.com if you want to hear your story read. Otherwise, we're just going to keep cruising down Reddit and kind of picking content from there until y'all start submitting stuff. So don't be shy. We're nice guys. Anyway, Ron, did you want to start with yours, or do you want me to maybe start with some lighter ones? I wasn't sure how heavy of a one you had.
I mean, we could start with some lighter ones if we could drop this one. I kind of really like this one, so we could save it for last.
Last or somewhere in the middle. I figure, we could do a little light one, maybe have some giggles, get us in the right mood, and then we can kind of go from there.
Right.
All right. So this first one, so these are all recent. These are all from as of, I think, today or the day before. Very topical, very current, very now. Because if this podcast is anything, it's now. But okay, cool. Going into our first story. This one is titled, I think adulthood is mostly just apologizing for replying late to messages you never had the energy to answer in the first place. This one's less advice and more just kind of like a stated fact of realization. It reads, honestly, I spend half of my social life typing sorry for the late reply to people I genuinely like while feeling weirdly guilty about not having the energy to be social. No one tells you that adulthood isn't just bills and groceries. It's also this constant balancing act of wanting connection and needing quiet. Anyone else feel this way, or am I just terminally exhausted?
I mean, I'm going to say that's so accurate, especially in relationships. These days, you get yelled at for taking a nap, bro. You can't respond. You go to the grocery store, you're grocery shopping, you don't text back right away.
Yeah, it's
it's over.
Conversation's dead.
Yeah, it's over with. Where were you? What were you doing? Who were you with?
I'll be honest, I picked this one for a reason because I felt very connected to this one. I start most texts and emails with sorry for the late reply or hey, thanks for waiting while I got back to you. That is the first sentence of 99% of the emails and texts that I send, to where this was hilarious reading that this is just a thing that a lot of people do. Because I'm such a bad email texter replier.
See, I hope they don't notice it. If I get an email and I don't respond to it, I just reply. I'm gonna hope you guys don't realize I did this a week late, but I'm just gonna send it.
I just addressed the elephant in the room right off the bat. I'm just yeah, I know it's been a couple days and you told me to respond within the hour, but I didn't do it. So I'm just going to address that first and foremost. Billy, where do you land on the spectrum?
I mean, I will admit there's times where I look at the email and I'll open it and I'm I don't know how to respond. So I'll right click and go mark as unread and just kind of come back to later, kind of collect my thoughts.
Read it, 100% open it, and then just be no, I didn't. I didn't open that yet.
Because there's times where it's I don't want to be dealing with this at this moment. I eventually will get to it, but
sure.
I have a list of priorities and that's not on the top of the list. This email is at the bottom. And once I get a moment to collect my thoughts, maybe even forget about it for a couple hours and be oh, wait, there it is.
It's funny because I never overthink when someone doesn't respond to me right away. I just assume they're busy, a normal person. But when I don't respond to someone right away, I'm all of a sudden very oh my God, they're probably wondering what the fuck my response went. I should let them know that, hey, sorry for the delay or thanks for waiting. And I'm does anybody really care about that? You know what I mean? Or do we just all of a sudden when it's us, it's or maybe that's just me.
I mean, I used to stress out about it. I'd be oh shit, I was supposed to respond to that by this time, and I've panicked. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I was busy, whatever, whatever comes up, and then I would shoot the email or text or whatever it is. But now it's just like, I was like, oh shit. I was supposed to respond to that last week. Whoops.
Like,
Let me
damn.
just sneak a response in here right now.
It's cool. I had someone do that to me.
The classic, oh, it's in my draft. I never hit send.
Yo, that one, dude. I had to stop using that one because I started to realize I was using that one like all the time, brother.
It was in my draft.
I don't know why this didn't.
never
I don't
hit
know why
send.
this one didn't send. Or I saw this one bounced back to me when really my ass just never sent it.
Typed it out. Never even thought
Oh
about
man, that's fucking crazy. But yeah, no one. I found this in my drafts. Thanks for your patience. Oh man, that was good. Yeah, no, that's real. Yeah, so whoever submitted this one, you're not alone. Not fucking alone.
I will say though, I don't know if it's kind of on the person who told the story, their side or a different side, but it's like when you send someone an email and you haven't heard back, but they'll send out a group email to you and other people. And it's like, so you saw my email, decided not to answer it,
and then replied to the group email. Yeah. I thought that too. Been like, oh, like this one's
I
more
get
a little
petty
more
and I
important.
won't respond to their email. Their next one they send, I won't respond to it. Like, you didn't respond to me.
I started doing
Like,
that too.
yeah, no,
I started doing that too. Heck yeah, dude. I'm like, oh, you ignoring my shit? Okay, cool. I could wait a couple of days to respond to yours. But of course, that's when it's like, I needed this like ASAP.
Yeah, right. I needed this yesterday. Where you at? And you're
I'm
just
be like, smooches. I'll give it to you when I give it to you. Okay.
Right.
Okay, I'll give it to you when I give it to you. Yo, but the draft one. Yeah, I was using that one way too much.
It's so relatable.
I'm
Like-
so bad because I'll do it sometimes. And there's honest opinion where I'll write it out and I'll get sidetracked and then come back to it later and be, oh shit, I never sent it. But there are legit times where I'm just like, I don't feel like answering this. So I'm just gonna type my thought real quick.
Yeah.
It may not be
maybe
professional.
some bullet points that you want to touch on.
Or it just may be like a key idea or a key point where it's like I'll come back to it later and then put it in a professional way.
Sure.
But it'll sit in my draft.
Yeah. Do you guys ever like do that, like what you just did, but know that the likelihood of you forgetting is high?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%. Like I'll click like save to drafts, and in the back of my mind, I'll know that I'm gonna forget and be like, cool, I guess I'm just gonna forget.
Yeah. What I do is I'll forget it, but then I'll be randomly doing other stuff. And
Like
then
a month later.
Well, no,
But like real talk, sometimes though, like I used to do that straight up, like maybe not a month, but like days, maybe a week later, be like, oh shit,
so
that
like
draft.
I'll type it up and I'll let it sit there and I'll go do some other stuff, get sidetracked, totally forget about it, and then come in like the next day and be like, oh, why is there something in my draft? Oh, I typed it up, I just never hit.
Yeah.
And so you convince yourself. So I would convince myself all the time. Like, I'm going to remember. Like, I would just tell myself that I did this last time and it's going to click in my
that
brain.
false sense of confidence.
Yeah.
Like, I've forgotten every single time before this, but this time I
This
won't.
time's different. This time's different.
I'm so bad.
This time's different.
Kind of not going too far off the rail, but like I'll take notes. Like I got notebooks. I'll put little notes of stuff, and I'll if someone goes, "Hey, can you please fix this for me?" and I'll say to myself, "Okay, I'll do it in a couple hours." And then I'll be like, let me just make a little note real quick. And then a couple hours later, totally forget about it.
Hours later.
And I'll open up my book and I'd be like, oh my God, there was the note I needed.
What I think is hilarious is like, I don't even do the work associated with the email because I'm just gonna like deny. Like it sounds like Billy. It sounds like you do most of the work to solve the problem, but then you're just like, nah, I'm gonna save it though. Like it sounds like you're doing all the work already.
Yeah. Like I just don't want to type the email out.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't wanna
yo,
respond
I ain't
to
putting no
nothing.
bullets. I ain't putting no hints. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna fly blind next time in a week when I remember this email.
Yeah.
Fly blind. I'm just gonna spam some shit before I send it.
He's just like, hey, I got all this shit done, bullet points, email, like
because
all you got to do is throw that shit in some chat GPT and write that shit for you.
well, so
it's not like he's got to hit send. That's not he's gotta
which is
do.
funny.
It's like it's on purpose. It's like, hey, this is a perfect response.
like, the way-
or a
'cause,
perfect
like,
response, and boom.
I get so many things I got to do at like one time. And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
this email, this request, this call, this, that. And I'm just like, okay, let me focus on what's important
Yeah.
at this moment. And then it's like, okay, this is important, but this is more important than that.
Sure.
So just at least in my head, I know I have it done. So I'm not like just coming back at it, like randomly thinking about it on like a Tuesday afternoon at like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Another question for you guys. Do you guys feel like the older you get, the less of a multitasker you are? Like I remember going into job interviews and being like, yeah, I'm a multitasker, right? I could do a lot of different things at once. I'm starting to really realize for myself, I'm not a multitasker, dude. Give me one task and
one task
I'll
at
do
a
it in its
time.
entirety before I move on to the next one. But I don't think I fully understood growing up what a multitasker
Right.
really was,
Right.
you know? I thought someone who could just like listen to a bunch of tasks needing to be done and just like doing them eventually was multitasking.
So doing them all at the same time.
Yeah, not quite the same thing.
I think that falls on the interest of the tasks. For example, as a kid, I'm gonna go out with my friends at 2:00. We're gonna eat lunch and grab some pizza at 4:00, and then we're gonna go jump in the pool at like 7:00. Okay, it's all things that you're interested in.
Yeah.
But when you're at work, like, I gotta go talk to this person.
I gotta send that email.
And I have a meeting with these people that I don't want to talk to them. It's everything in the meeting can be sent in an email. So I think it depends on the interest of what it is.
Sure. And like I believe that too. But even then I used to think that like, when I would get a list of things where I'd be like, okay, from this time to this time I'm gonna do this task, then this task. I used to think that was multitasking, but it's not. It's literally doing all of them simultaneously at the same time.
Yeah.
And that fucks my brain up. Like I can't I'm going to start like responding to the wrong people with the wrong things. I just know that about myself. But I used to think that like just being able to soak in a bunch of tasks and put them in a schedule for myself was the same as multitasking. And it's not. No, it's definitely not. Not good at that. And the older I get, the worse it gets.
Yeah, because I need some structure to something. Like I got to have like you were saying, it's got to be a certain time, a certain task. Okay, this time, read and respond to emails. This time to this time, get this report sent out. Check in on this, right? I can't do like a little bit of each because then I feel like I'm doing nothing, right? It's like, how many tasks did you work on? 15. How many did you get done? 0.
Not a single one.
Yeah, it's like, fuck. But then it's like, okay, how many tasks did you do? I did 3. Okay, how many did you finish? 3. You feel a lot better about yourself.
Yeah. You're going 3 for 3. Yeah. So like the older, it's just insane that I feel like the less multitasking friendly I become, the older I get.
I think once for me, when it hits more than 3, I start freaking out. Because like I'll be on the phone and I'll have an email and then I'll have someone to come to my desk and I'm like, okay, 3 things. And then it's like when, another ticket came in, another email and another call. I got to call this person back. There goes my notes. And I'm just like, okay, there's like 6 things I got to do. I'm freaking out right now.
Yeah.
And then it's one of those things where I take a moment back.
I would say 3 is a good number. 3 is kind of my threshold where it's like once you get into 4, 5s, and 6s, like I'm
like 3 is a green. On
Your mind
I'm almost
going.
stressing myself into like a catatonic state where I'm just sitting there and be like, I'm not going to do any of it.
Like
I'm just going to waste
I feel like
hours.
1 to 3, you're in a green. When you get to 4 and 5, you're in that yellow. 6, 7, 8, 9 is orange, and then like 10 is like you're in red danger. Like
I'm clocking out at that point.
Yeah, you're throwing up in the bathroom. You're just abort mission. Abort mission.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like that's how I treat these like meeting days, right? So it's like I'll go in, right? And it's Monday. It's the first day of the work week. You know, like, okay, you got to get shit done, right? It's Monday. It's a work day. I walk in, I get there about 8:30, right? 8:30, 8:40, between 8:30 and 9. But then we have a meeting from 10 to 11:30, right? And then I got to get out of that. Then I have another meeting at like, I don't know, like fucking 12. And then I have another meeting at 2. And it's like, there's so many like meetings, but it's like the spacing is not enough time in between to actually get some real work done.
Like to get anything started and completed.
Exactly.
Or to even recap. And I'm like, hey, like this is what we just talked about. Let me just kind of like recap on it so you know what's going on. Because I'll be honest, there's so many times I'll be in the meeting and I'll just zone out. I'll just sit there, look right at somebody.
Up, dude.
I will literally look at someone. I will literally look at people and just be like,
you just gotta hope they don't ask you a question.
Dude, I make faces at myself in Zoom meetings. Like I'm looking at myself like
I'll do the same thing a little bit, not like that. But I'm just like, oh,
you're not like sometimes I'm just like, is this a good angle?
Right? I'll be like, should I grow my beard a little bit? I'll be doing this, not realizing. Like,
whatever that move is that Gen Alpha do with the chin. I think it's called mewing.
What?
Yeah, it's the one
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched a random video on YouTube where they talked about mewing, and it's that that trend where it's like guys are like they're making like duck face and they're like with the chin and shit like that. I guess that's called mewing. Something to Google later, gents.
Yeah,
go down the mewing rabbit hole. Let's get back to some Reddit stories. Long story short, we're all just saying we're all just apologizing for the late reply at the end of the day.
In all categories,
and
work, relationships,
and I'm telling you, if you send me an email or a text, just know that you're not getting a prompt response. I'm just gonna nip that in the bud now. Unless you email us at yahoo.com. Unless you email us at yahoo.com, we will respond to that shit with a quick now.
And one quick note to kind of add on what you said, Ron, about like at the grocery store and stuff. At least in my point of view, like I hate being that person who lingers on a cart and you're like trying to get around people and people are on their phones and they're doing this and they're doing that.
And they leave their cart in the middle.
Oh my fucking God.
Are we talking about on the streets?
No. Like
in the,
when you go to a grocery store and let's say, and it's like the people who like walk really slow up and down the aisle or they take the whole thing. It's like, move the fuck over.
Yeah, dude, you're in a public space. Eyes up, sister,
like
brother.
If I ever stuck a GoPro to me and you saw me go to the grocery store, I'm in and out, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. I'm always on the right. I treat it like a road. I'm on the right side. Dude, I pull over. Yeah,
dude, I'm like that with carts too. Like if I'm manning the cart in a grocery store, I'm treating that shit like the road. All right, I'm on the right or I'm on the right hand side. I'm looking both ways before I cross the street, looking for pedestrians. I'm hugging the wall. I'm not driving the cart down the middle of the aisle and expect people to bob and weave like it's a war zone up in here. Okay, like it's road rules. Yeah. It's the road rules.
Absolutely.
And I don't get like people like dude. This one triggers me is because I'm very type A when it comes to my grocery cart maneuvering through a Jewel Osco. But goddamn, the people who like they're just like bobbing and weaving and they move it diagonally while they grab one item off the top shelf. I'm like, oh my God, just line it up against them. I'm like, move it over.
Stay where you're gonna be at. Like just move it over, and then like if you have to walk across, at least like you're not taking up the whole aisle because you're a person. That cart is wide, but if you can move it over enough, I'll be able to get right by it. No issues.
Period.
But then like you got the mom. She puts the cart in the middle. She has her two kids fucking running in circles around the fucking cart. She got that double wide.
She got that double wide, dude.
And she's taking this spot. Her kids are taking spots over here, and the cart's right in the fucking middle.
Homies literally has the equivalent of a mom van in a grocery store, and you're expected.
She looks at you. And then she looks away and continues to do what she's doing.
Yeah, I do the loud sigh. Do you guys have a move to get their attention? I usually do the.
I just like passive aggressively just walk by the cart, like jerk my body to get around the cart,
shoulder check them. Fucking Kraft cheese goes flying. Yeah, nice.
Little throw something in the cart just because.
Don't get.
I was one time, like I was tempted, right? So I see this like lady, right? She was like reaching for something and like she was kind of like going through them. Like I don't know why she was doing that, but it was like on a little higher of a shelf. Cart was in the middle. And I'm sitting there right now. I don't want to be rude. I had a case of water in my hand. I'm not trying to bump into a car, right?
Sure, yeah.
No, I had two cases. So,
because you only do one trip. You only take one trip.
All right, yeah, I work out. But when you're standing there for fucking 5 minutes, 2 cases of water is fucking heavy, dude.
Dude, there's something unusually heavy about cases of water. Exactly. They're just like unlike anything other.
Dude, liquid weight is weird. I don't understand.
You could deadlift 1,000,000 pounds, but for some reason, one
case of fucking water takes
feels
you
like
out.
1,000 billion pounds.
Yeah, or groceries carrying up the stairs. Like you feel like, where did all this strength go?
I refuse to take multiple trips for groceries.
Absolutely.
I'm carrying everything in one arm or 2 arms,
dude.
And
you're like this,
yes,
dude. I get Boothang to hook me up. I'm like, yo, lock me in, sister. She lines them up, and I'm like, I feel like a god.
I love when you see other like 90s and millennials walk because it's like, hey, if they see you with a bunch of like bags of one, they know what you're up to. Like, hey, you're born in the 90s. You know what the fuck you're doing.
And if my wife's inside, like putting groceries away and I'm getting more of them, I'm like, and I'm straining like a mother with like getting up the steps from my parking lot, like I will go through the back door and I will not show any fear. Like I did not struggle at all. Because I want my girl to know, like, I got this shit. Yeah. Like I ain't struggling. This ain't nothing, bro. So I'm walking in like sweat beating down my freaking forehead when I'm outside. But the minute that door opens, it's like nothing happened. Dad.
Yeah, right.
I want her to be like, yo, that's my man right there. And
damn, Zaddy, yes.
And like, and you know that, like, it's probably the last thing she's thinking because she knows. She knows that I was damn near holding in a shit while I was carrying that shit up, dude. You know, I'm pinching everything. Right. I'm pinching it all, bro.
That was a good rant. I like that.
This was great. Who would have thought that we'd go down this rabbit hole? Right. It's all staying in. Cool. Next story. We'll do one more and then we'll throw yours in because I definitely want to get to yours. but I have a feeling that yours we're going to want to chat about for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So this one kind of gets a little bit more serious. Has anyone here got clean from drugs in their 30s and still built a great life? So has anyone got clean from drugs in their 30s and still built a great life? 32-year-old, 43 months clean from meth and oxy. Can I still build a great life and get with a beautiful and caring woman? My sister, who never was addicted and who lived a straight edge life, thinks that I'll never have a great life and thinks she's better than me. Before I put my hot take, which I feel like might not be that hot, share.
He said how many months he's clean?
43 months clean. 43.
That's like what? Almost 2 years?
I'm not.
Or 24, 4 years.
Yeah, I was about.
I'm trying to do the math in my head.
It's okay. I knew it was more than 2, but I could not confidently tell you how much it was either. So I wasn't going to say shit.
Yeah, 12, 24, 36, 48.
It's
Yeah,
like
think
5
48
months
is
short of 4 years.
Yeah,
First-
thank you. So
first
between
off-
the three of us, one of us can do math. Thank you, Ron.
So first off, congrats to that. That's
That's dope.
I've never done drugs in my life, so I can't say.
Yeah.
But like, you hear stories and it's like people relapse and they crash and this and that, and to go almost 4 years, like congrats to you. Like,
Yeah.
shout out to you.
Yeah, and I just don't think it's never too late to start bettering yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, like like I can't relate to the drug things. I never had a drug problem.
Sure.
I was never really close to people who had drug problems.
Yeah.
I know it's a hard thing to go through, and it's a hard thing, to get past an addiction. But I mean, I can relate it to like, fitness. Like if people, they can get in their fitness journeys anywhere as early as their 20s or as late as their 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
Right. It's not too late because you're bettering yourself.
Yeah,
right?
you're essentially rebuilding just a new habit of not doing meth and oxy, and like
Right.
that is just as possible as creating a regimen in the system around fitness or
Exactly.
any
Yeah.
other hobby.
You can still become the person that you want to become, and a person that you feel like deserves like that good woman that you want, or that great job that you dream of having, right? You can still work towards those things and have them. Just because you're going to have them a little later in life doesn't mean you don't deserve them. And just because you fell into a rut,
Yeah.
right? Like you shouldn't.
Baracha.
Yeah, no, I just don't. I don't think that you should be too hard on yourself about that and let outside people tell you that you can't have something because of what you went through.
Yeah, I also think too that there's just like a stigma when it comes to those who like have abused drugs or have a long history of struggling with drug addiction. Like there's that idea of like, oh, if you're addicted to drugs, you're a low life or always have been a low life, and this is just an outlet for you. And like the older I get, the more I realize too that like there are so many avenues and reasons why people get into drugs, and a lot of them are outside of an individual's control. It doesn't matter what background you have. Like one bad situation propels you into an avenue of a lot of other bad situations, to where then all of a sudden you feel like drugs are your only way out. And that's not a reason to be vilified. That's not a reason to be ostracized. It's a reason almost for the opposite. Like you need a support system, and you need a network, and that's how people recover is finding that strength within themselves and around their people. But also I'll go as far as to say, your sister sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I don't know what kind of family you're from. If you're from a family that's like, oh, we're family, so we love them no matter what. I choose not to really subscribe to that a whole lot. Like, I love my family, but like unconditional, I think love is conditional and should be in a lot of cases, because like nobody's perfect and you should want everyone to be better. But your sister telling you that you're never going to have a great life and you're never going to meet a beautiful, caring woman because you're 32 and you've been clean for 4 years. So even just doing the math here real quick, 4 years, 32, you've been clean since you've been 28. You have so much fucking life left. Your sister sucks.
You should become such a badass right now. Like
you can honestly I'm sure there are people who go to college, like who start college at 32 and still go on to become doctors and lawyers.
Right. You're done at 36, right? Like you think you're starting late, but by 36, you will have a great career. You could be on the path that you already want to be on.
Yeah.
Like it's not too late. People just think like if you don't follow go out of high school at 18, get out of college at 20, get your job right away, like buy a house, do the whole like fucking American dream thing. Like
it's
people
like
look down on you.
That whole vision of the American dream, like, you always hear your grandparents or your parents, they graduated high school at 18 and they were in college by 20 and then they were already graduated with a job and a career by 24 and then they're married by 25 and kids by 20, whatever. And it's just like,
that's not the blueprint.
No.
Yeah.
That ain't it.
But I think a lot of people see it as one.
It's still that
and
mindset.
They judge people by it.
No, I agree.
It's still that mindset.
Yeah.
I think people are like, oh, I got to have this, I got to have that. It's like that blueprint is getting pushed out. Like people aren't having kids until like they're 35, 40 now. And all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got people who are wanting to buy a house and they're like, it's like buy a house and have no fun. Hobbies gone.
Yeah.
Interest,
Your life is done. Like,
your life is that house. Like there's
your life
nothing
is house.
outside
Like,
of it.
There's nothing. Like you're stuck. Like
And
you,
like
you want to go on vacation? Yeah, no, that's probably happening now.
yeah, your vacation is in the backyard. Your shitty less than
You want
just
you want to go
nothing.
to you want to go to Mexico? No, you're having your flip chair out in the front lawn with a beer. You're done. There's your vacation.
Yeah, dude.
and
It's
especially add kids to the mix.
even
Like
impossible, dude. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, and it's like I think people are so hard on themselves just because they don't have that at a certain age. Right?
Yeah.
Like you have like people who are like 25, 26 and they're like, "Oh, like I want this, I want that. Like I don't have this by then." And it's like they're just beating down on themselves like, "Dude, like you got time, man."
Yeah, you
Like,
got time, and it's just a different world, man.
Yeah.
The American dream was created at a time when that lifestyle was possible.
Yeah,
And-
it's not
and-
for us anymore.
Nah, man. Especially if you're in the middle class, like especially if you're a working class, and unfortunately, like maybe considered a low class. Like it's tough, man. Like it's that dream is impossible. It
Right.
just is.
Right. And it sucks to say, but I don't want to say like lower your standards on life. I don't want to say that.
No.
But maybe lower the expectations a little bit on yourself. Right?
I think change your priorities, man.
Yeah,
like,
like you don't have to have this huge house with 2 kids, a wife, 2 cars, take a
doesn't-
vacation. It's like it sounds great, but I think if you could just win the day, right? Like, okay, what hobbies do you like to do?
Yeah.
right. Like if you could go every day, like, okay, I got a job that I love to go to,
I also-
right?
yeah,
I have a
yeah.
car. Like I have a car. It works. It's great. It's not, it might not be brand new, but it's a nice looking car.
What's that saying where
gets
it's
you
like,
from point A to point
Yeah,
B.
and you have like good hobbies that you want to do. Like you enjoy yourself.
what's that saying where it's like I forget how they word it, but it's like you got people who drive Bentleys and Teslas and Porsches, and then you got people who drive like Hondas and Toyotas, and it's like it's a 4-wheel car. It still works the same way. You're only paying for the image.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And it's understanding too that like getting a house isn't going to solve your problems.
It's not.
Just like kids aren't going to solve your problems. Like, do you think that, oh, I'm sad because I haven't hit these milestones yet, and you try to sprint to those milestones as fast as you can to get them? You're going to be just as empty as you were before you had those things. You're going to be just as empty. They don't fill a void. They're just materialistic things that propel you into this image of you having your shit together. When let's be real,
And it's just an idea.
nobody has their shit together,
No one
dude.
does. And then when you're younger, you think everybody does. Like you look at your parents and you think like, holy fuck,
shit.
these are my superheroes,
As a
dude.
kid, you see all the adults in your neighborhood and your apartment complex, and you think they got their shit together when you're
Yeah.
7. Hell no.
Yeah, dude. 100%.
And now you're there and you're like, I ain't got shit together.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
like you realize like your parents, these adults that when you were a kid are just humans.
They're just as lost as
Yeah.
you were when
Because it's their first time doing it too.
Yeah.
And it's like we don't understand that. So when we're kids, we're just like, oh yeah, like if I don't have what they have, then I'm not gonna be successful.
Or I'm a failure.
Yeah. And everyone's thinking that way. It's like, dude, like I don't own a house. I have an apartment.
Yeah.
I have a car.
And honestly, I probably will never own a house, to
Probably
be honest
not.
with you.
Probably
Like,
not.
and I'm okay with that. You got to learn to be okay with what you have. Or like, you just got to understand what's important to you. Like, is it possible that I could own a house? Yeah. But like, what am I sacrificing to get that house? And
Right.
are those,
and are you
and are
even
those
going to have
things?
the time to be there, right? I mean, if you have this super nice house, or your mortgage is going to be high, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be at work.
Yeah. You're working all day and
You're working
you're
all
not
day.
twerking
Like,
all
if you
night.
ever- yeah.
You're
Like,
working all day.
Those super rich neighborhoods, go drive through them. I bet you never see lights on.
Yeah. Honestly,
Super nice houses.
that'd be actually kind of a cool experiment to do. They're either vacant or they're just never home.
Yeah.
You should drive
Both are
over-
possible.
You guys should drive over by the Home Alone house. It's very nice.
Yeah. I've
Oh, that's in Winnetka, right?
Yeah, I remember driving by there when I first moved to Chicago, but it's been a hot minute.
And then if you've ever watched the movie Ferris Bueller Days Off, where his friend Cameron lived, that house is up there too.
yeah, it's those houses are beautiful, man. But eventually, there's going to come a time when no one's going to live in them. They're just going to be glorified ghost towns,
Right.
Of ghost neighborhoods. What
Yeah,
do we call
because
them?
you
Ghost
remember
something.
when you were a kid what $1 million house looked like?
It was mansions.
It was
mansions.
10 fucking bedrooms,
Beautiful.
like 8 bathrooms. Like the house was the whole block. Now it's like you think you see $1 million house and it's like, okay, you got a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom fucking house over there.
And no dog. No dog.
Yeah.
No
Barely
plants.
a backyard.
Yeah, you
Like-
maybe have a futon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No white picket fence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing. It's
definitely
like
not
not the
that.
same.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. 32, you got time, player, and don't
Start
listen.
just focusing on things you want to do. Take it a day at a time, right? Like you want to get your health together. Okay, go to the gym.
Yeah.
Right.
Time to get physical.
And I mean, you're doing the right thing. I mean, you're already 4 months clean, which is already an incredible feat. Like you've
doing better than
gone through the
most
hard
people.
part. You got through the hard part, to be honest with you. Like you finding a beautiful and caring woman to spend your life with and having a fulfilled life. Like you're kind of at the precipice of that moment right now. Like you just have to decide for you if like what that life looks like for you and the steps you're going to take it. Like you got through the hard part.
Think about it this way. From other people's perspective, he's already won. He's clean. He's got someone.
Yeah.
Like he's won already. You got people who wish that they've had that kind of
that turnaround. Yeah. And not a lot of people do because people get stuck in it. And,
like whenever
or they fall back.
Yeah.
Like if you ever watch those videos on like social media of like a guy coming home to his kids and the kids are like, "Oh, daddy's home," and then you see the comments, it's a bunch of guys like, "Bro, you won. Like you got it. You won.
You 32, man, you have so much life left. Like 4 years is already incredible. I wouldn't even I know it's logistically or like on a technical sense, like once you're labeled as an addict, it's kind of like you always are, no matter how long you're clean. But like I would say like if you've made it this far, like obviously anything could happen and anything can cause a relapse. But dude, the tough part is done. You got through the tough part, dude. Like you just gotta ignore that shit because that's probably maybe something you hadn't had to deal with so much. Maybe you have, I guess, like because the addiction has been the main problem or the main thing you've been trying to solve for. Like most of us throughout our late 20s are just dealing with people telling us we can't be who we want to be. And now you're just dealing with that now from a sober mind or in a sober perspective. So it feels like, oh God, are they right? And I'm telling you, they're not. They're not right. You got time, dude. You can make shit happen. Anyway, moving on. We're going to move it over to Ron. Ron, take us through the Reddit story you brought forth for us today.
All right. So it's titled, "I escaped my childhood, but I don't know how to live without chaos."
Okay.
All right. So her name is Talia. I won't give her last name. 31, female. Her background, she grew up in a violent home in rural Pennsylvania. Her father was an alcoholic. Her mother disappeared when she was 9. Talia bounced around between relatives and shelters before putting herself through community college. Now she works as a trauma nurse in Baltimore, fiercely independent and deeply regarded. Deeply guarded.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah. So here's a story, a little bit of it. When people say you're strong, I want to scream. Strength wasn't a choice. It was survival. I didn't want to be strong at 10 when I had to pull my drunk dad off my little brother. I didn't want to be strong when I found out that my mom was never coming back home. I fought for every inch of my life. I got scholarships, worked 2 jobs, graduated, moved to a city where nobody knew me, and now I have an apartment, a stable job, health insurance, and for the first time in my life, silence. And I hate it. I didn't realize how addicted I'd become to the chaos. When things are calm, I start spiraling. I pick fights, I self-sabotage, I sleep with people that I don't care about.
Damn.
I feel like I'm only comfortable in crisis. I built a life my younger self would have killed for. But now that I have it, I don't know how to live in it. I don't know how to be loved without pain attached. Sometimes I wonder if trauma is the only reason I kept moving forward. And now that I'm not fighting to survive, I don't know who I am anymore.
All right. That's okay, cool. Where to begin with that one? There's a lot there.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
That's like survival of the fittest. Like your back's against the wall and you are coming out clawing.
I really like this story, right? Because like a lot of it I can relate to, right? So I didn't have the greatest childhood growing up, right? Like I grew up in a very chaotic, very traumatic childhood, right? Where like, my dad was an alcoholic, right? All he cared about, alcoholic and poker on the computer. Very abusive, right? Mostly verbally, but like he would hit us, so It was tough, right? And every day we'd be terrified, right? Me and my mom, if I'd come home from school, I'd watch what I say, or I got to see what mood he's in, or like kind of just skate around just to go straight to my room and shit like that. So it's a tough thing to go from that to calm, right? Like, and when she said like she was pulling her dad off her brother, I've had to pull my dad off my mom like a couple times, and it gets to a point where you get so used to it, it becomes who you are.
Yeah, it becomes a part of the routine.
Yeah.
Like anything else.
You come home, oh, got to get dad off mom. Or, oh, mom's drunk again because, she's so used to getting hit by dad.
Or like, oh, look, this is happening an hour earlier than it usually does. Wow. Like it starts to really feel normal.
Yeah. And,
no, I didn't know it was trauma o'clock already.
Well, yeah. But it got to the point where I would have to, like, as soon as I got home, I would hear, all right, go find your mother. She's drunk somewhere, and it's like, fuck, like I'm in grammar school, man. Like, why are me and my brother walking out trying to find my mom?
Yo, I'm learning some ABCs up here. What the? I'm hooked on phonics. Yeah. And next thing I'm hunting mom down. Dude, that's wild. Dude, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and like it was just my childhood, right? Like abusive dad, like very physical, like very just not a very great parent, right? And it was and it was like my entire like childhood into my teen years, and then after that, like I didn't really have a good experience with him. He just left. Yeah. Right. So after that, like I'm fending for myself at 17, working 2 fucking jobs. I'm working, a restaurant, I'm working delivery and pizzas and shit. So it's like I'm trying to do all I can, right? And it's to the point where like my life from that moment was chaos from the time I was a child all the way until like constantly grinding, right? All I knew was like, okay, we have to grind. Like, how am I going to eat today? Where am I going to sleep today? How am I going to get to work? Like, how am I going to make money? So it was always like the hows and the whys and the whats were always like survival.
Yeah.
Now it's like, when I first got my sense of peace, it was like, okay, like how she said, okay, like I wake up in a nice bed, in a nice apartment. I'm cooking myself breakfast so I don't have to worry about where I'm sleeping. I don't have to worry about how I'm going to eat. I don't have to worry about how I'm going to get to work, right? I don't have to worry about a paycheck because I have a consistent income now, right? It's like you get that and it's nice for a minute.
Yeah.
But then that starts seeping in.
The survival instinct starts to kick in again. And something I was going to say is like, I think there's a couple questions I always like to ask. I like to ask people who I feel like have this type of situation. First thing I like to ask is like, do you think that maybe subconsciously you feel like you don't deserve this because you're used to living in this constant state of trauma and pressure and stress to where when you don't have it, it almost feels like, at least for me, like I'm not going to pretend to even kind of have gone through some of the shit that she'd gone through in the story. Cause that is some S tier trauma that I won't even pretend to relate to on that level. But like, it's that feeling of like, I worked so hard to get this, but in the blink of an eye, it could all go away.
Yeah.
So it's like you're almost trying to put yourself back in that position of like survival mode because it's like
it's all you know.
I'm too comfortable now, and this is all I know. This is how I know I am most successful, and I'm able to overcome adversity when I'm put into this type of stress. And when you don't have that, and you're coasting, it feels just that. It feels like coasting.
Yeah.
It feels like,
and
okay, I can blink and all of this can go away. So I have to stay in survival mode all the time or you're miserable.
Yeah. And it's like you've trained your body to only know that, right? So when you come out of it, it's like, what is this? It's kind of like an addiction, right? Like I'm not going to relate to anyone who's been addicted to drugs. I know that's tough, but like it's like your body gets addicted to the chaos or like adapts to it to the point where like you need it.
Yeah.
Right. And when you start like not having it, you take it out in relationships. You take it out in friendships at work, right? Because you just see things in a more of a toxic way.
Well, you're almost trying to like create that survival position for yourself by sabotaging relationships and good, things that are going good. It's like if there isn't a problem, I think some of it is too, is like if it's the feeling of like, oh, if I'm not trying to better myself through a problem, I'm not working at all.
Right.
Or I'm not growing.
I'm
not doing enough. Yeah. It's like, cool. If I could put myself through challenges and overcome those challenges, then I'm growing. But sometimes when you artificially manufacture those problems for yourself because that's all you know, you're not really learning from them. You're just kind of ruining your relationships with people, and not even just like your people, but yourself too. You're ruining that relationship with yourself. Trauma is a great motivator. Is the thing. And that's the tough one. It's a great motivator. Nothing motivates people like trauma, like pressure, like the need to either shit or get off the pot. Like that feeling of like, okay, cool. It's either I do this or die, and I'm not dying.
And I think it's so easy to fall back into
when that threat of dying ain't there. It's like,
like what
do I care about?
Right. Yeah. And then like, it just makes you spiral back into it. And it's like, it's comfort, right? It's like your comfort zone pretty much. Like,
yeah, I can relate to that feeling. Like I said, I'm not going to pretend to relate to the trauma portion of it, but I definitely can relate to the feeling of like, oh, the other thing I feel like I asked too is like what kind of parents did you have growing up? Because like my parents, and especially my dad, was very much like he was a hustler, dude. It was like if he wasn't working, it was like we were falling behind. And like I think I told you guys, like I wasn't able to sleep in past 7 a.m. on the weekends because my dad was like, yo, sun's up, let's get freaking going. And it's that feeling. It creates that feeling of like, it's 7 o'clock, I need to start getting shit done because otherwise I wasted the day and I'm going fucking useless. And I'm just a trash. You know, and it's just, it doesn't need to be that way. Like there are going to be times where you have to like entertain yourself without leveraging trauma to do it for you. And I'm not like, trauma's not entertainment, but it's comfort in a way. Yeah. When you're used to nothing but trauma, and it's very comforting. It's very safe. Sometimes if you
feel safe, it's odd to say, but like it does feel safe.
It's familiar.
Because you feel like there's a purpose, right? Like when you're comfy and like, okay, I have this, I have that, I have this. It's like, you're not really, it feels like you're not working towards anything anymore, right? Because when you're in that like survival mode,
I think it feels like giving up.
Right.
It's like you're not giving up.
It's like anything. You made it to the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Or like I was talking about this yesterday. It's like you beat a video game and now all you just do is walk around. Right, because there's no objectives left. There's no campaign mode. Like you're done. Yeah,
there's no enemies. It's just done. Regular NPCs. Right? So it's like, what do you do over again? Like
you can't just be aimlessly walking around in the video game. No, you either start over or you
increase the difficulty.
Which I think that's what a lot of people do when they go through shit like this. And I've done it so many times. Like, this is too easy. Let's figure some shit out to make it hard.
Let's sabotage something else and make it even harder because that's how I'll learn. And
right? Like, I have a good job. Let's quit.
Dude, let's financial stability. Yeah, dude.
Fuck that.
Let's just give a stranger my credit card. Heck yeah.
Right? Let's make life hard. Let's max out my credit cards and not pay them for a month.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so weird. Like when your brain is trained.
I wonder if some of that is like, you know how like in the older generation they say, oh yeah, we had to walk uphill. We walked to school uphill both ways, and it's like life was hard. And
no shoes too. Like, no shoes.
Yeah, it's like all
no shoes in the snow.
Every time they tell it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah,
you gators nipping at my heels.
Yeah. How can it be snowing but gators at the same time?
Kids are soft.
Where are you at?
Kids are soft. You're just soft. You just don't get it. You're soft.
Yeah, I've got hit by a bus twice on the way to school, got up and still made it through the day.
And stabbed an eyeball out. Like, come on, bet.
The stories.
But like, I do feel like that's almost, I wonder
I'm not going to school. Like, fuck that, dude.
Like, dude, like, I'm just skipping.
No, I'm dropping out. I'll get my fucking GED, dude.
I love how they say that as if it's like some big flex. And I'm just like, it sounds like you might just be stupid. Like, sounds like you're an idiot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, Jesus. But no, I wonder sometimes if that's like our version of that. It's like when like our people our age, I guess people our age are starting to have kids. I was going to say when people our age start to have kids, they already are. Yep. But like when the next generation start to have kids and like we're like the boomers age, are we going to be like, oh yeah, back in our day we had to we had to create problems for ourselves. We had to quit jobs that we were happy at. You don't understand. Back in my day, I had financial stability and would give a stranger my credit card just to feel something. You don't know what pain is, kid.
I think we're going to hit that stage when it comes to technology. As technology expands, we're going to be like, back in my day, we didn't have the internet. We actually played outside.
Yeah, right? Back in my day, we only had Minesweeper. Now you have all these AAA games.
Yeah.
Pinball, you don't know. Yeah.
Pinball, Minesweeper.
And it's just going to get worse too. Eventually, we're going to be like, yeah, when we grew up, all we had were sticks and trees.
And we had to ride our bikes to our friend's house hoping they were home because we couldn't call them.
Yeah. You kids don't even know. Yeah. I wonder if this will be like our version of that. It's just like, yeah, we had to manifest our own problems because we just lived hard edge, dude. We were so hard. Cut that from the record. Cut that. I meant hardcore.
What you said we're so hard.
Yeah, that's worse. We'll cut that.
Yeah, no, we can leave it in. We can leave it in.
Well, you know what?
Just let them know that we're not hard.
Yeah, we're not hard currently. Hey, hand me that shovel over there, Ron. Let me just keep digging it further.
Right.
You had some talking points though about this one you wanted to touch on. Did you touch on them, or you got some more for us?
Let's see. Okay, and well, we already answered that, but the trauma identity when pain becomes your personality. All right, like what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think it becomes as much as as much as anything else could be part of your personality, as much as excessive eating, drinking. I think if you're too happy too often, I think you can get a kind of like caught into that being your personality too, and it's essentially like what I think people struggle with today, and I think something that I have to actively like remind myself is like everyone's three-dimensional. Like you go through the whole color wheel of emotions, and like there's no something I try not to put pressure on myself or people I hang out with is like you don't need to be a type of person and like just be that. Like I think I used to see that a lot when I was like more into the musical theater scene, and like you'd hang out with a lot of dancers, actors, performers. Is like that need of when you're in a group of people, you're always on and you're like, yes, singing, performing, happy, telling jokes, trying to be funny. And it's like, you don't have to be that all the time. Like it doesn't have to be your personality. It doesn't exclusively have to be your personality. Now there's a lot of other things that go into that too. Like if you have social anxieties, things like that. But it's like, I wish we'd be more okay with just like being multifaceted and being okay with just how we are versus needing to be a heightened version of ourselves, And I don't know if that answers your question, but I think like being that person, being a sad person, or being addicted to trauma, or making trauma a part of your identity is sort of that same concept of like that's only one part of you. It doesn't have to be the only part of you.
I think it's hard to see outside of that too. Like a lot of people don't see it that way.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, this is my life. This is who I am. Like I just have to deal with it.
Yeah. Or just like being okay with like if that is a feeling you're feeling all the time when you're outside, like that's the sign that there's a problem. And like that's okay to admit that there's a problem there. Like it's even if you're happy all the time, like if I have friends who are happy all the time, those are the ones that I side eye the most. I'm like, there's a reason why we're not seeing more avenues of your personality here. And I respect your privacy in that, but I also don't think it's healthy to be all one height or one level or one emotion all the time. And trauma, happiness, to me, it's all kind of the same thing. You guys have any thoughts on that?
I think I kind of agree with you. And then it's like when it comes to that, like the personality thing, I think it creates like this. I can't even think of the word right now. Imposter syndrome. There we go.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get a grasp on who you really are, right? Because like all this trauma you're going through. I mean, have you taken the time to figure yourself out? Have you taken the time to figure out, things you like where you want to go in life? Like I think when I was younger, I never really had that path. I never really was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to like set my goals. I'm going to go here. I want to be this when I grow up, or like, I don't even know what I liked. Like, did I like sports? I played sports, sure. Oh, did I like this? Like, what's my favorite color? Like, what kind of like style do I want to wear? Right? I was like so confused. I didn't know shit, right? Because all I knew in life was like everything's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like I'm not worried about what clothes I'm wearing. I'm worried about if I walk in and my fucking dad slaps the shit out of me. Like,
I got real big boy shit to worry about.
Or if he would wake up,
I gotta duck that right hook.
Yeah, dude,
bob and weave.
Yeah, and
I'm going to hell.
But it was
I'll meet you down there.
It's a tough thing to grasp. Like it's hard to grasp life and what you really want in life when that is all you knew for the longest time.
Yeah.
I think that does become a thing. Like trauma identity does consume you when that's what you came from.
Yeah. And the role and like something too is like you have to understand the role that you play being that person within your social world too. Is like
I think it makes people like create this like introverted side, right? Like even the most extroverted person can be introverted because they don't know social skills. You didn't learn those, right? And even if you did like figure them out, it's like you don't feel comfortable talking to because you see people at a different light, right? You don't see people how everybody else does. Like it's more like, okay, I kind of get your vibe. I'm just gonna be over here, or like you're not really fitting in because you don't know how to.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if you like don't know. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's totally me. I have no idea where I fit in at. I'm usually doing shit by myself.
Yeah, like it's like for a lot of reasons too. It's easier. It's like a lack of understanding about yourself, and it's like, you know what, if I'm gonna figure out what I like, I have to do it alone. Almost, it's almost like self isolating.
That's literally what I do. Like there's times where like I don't even attempt to invite people to go to a ball game. I just go by myself.
Yeah.
Or in a movie, I'll sit there one day and I'll be like, you know, I feel like go watching a movie. What show's on right now? Oh, okay, 7:20. Okay, I'll be there.
I'll just hit a movie up. Yeah. Like I honestly, I just
now people say that I shouldn't be doing that, but I just find it so relaxing because I'm not relying on somebody.
Yeah, you can essentially make your own decisions and how you want them without needing to have to consider someone else sometimes.
Right. And there's no expectations.
Absolutely, I can do whatever.
Just peace. You do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it.
Because like it's, you know, I've tried inviting people and then they're like last minute, oh, I can't go, or I don't want to go, and it's like, okay, cool, if you want to go, then just tell me you don't want to go.
Yeah, like it's better to do that than to like psych myself up for this thing that's just gonna fall short. Like I'd rather just know from the get go than just do it solo. Yeah, I love doing stuff by myself. I used to make myself feel bad about that, but I had this moment when I was at one of my jobs and we had like an employee meeting and it was followed by a little party and stuff like that. And usually I would go to like, for being as extroverted and as animated as I am as a person, like I'm almost like, I don't always love work parties like that. Like I don't find myself to be the most social person in the world. And I remember sitting there and I wasn't talking to anybody or doing anything. I just had like my beer and I was just drinking and eating some food. And I remember I actively thought to myself, I used to hate this. Or I used to hate that I would like be this person at meetings or at parties where like I just don't want to talk to me or don't know how to get conversation started and feel awkward. Like I used to beat myself up about that. And I remember sitting there at this meeting or at this party and I was like, for the first time, I think in a long time, I'm sitting here and I just don't care. I'm like, it's all good. They're all talking. They're all like yelling over each other, getting hyped. Love that for y'all. Honestly, it was fun to watch you guys have such a great time. I did not mind just sitting back, grabbing a beer. And then by the time I was done, I was like, hey, keep having a good time. I'm out. I had zero problem with that. And it was probably the first time in a long time I've ever felt that way. Because usually I'm just making myself feel like shit. But
little story about this. So I was 21-ish in the early 20s. And
in the olden days.
All right. Back in my day.
Tell us, Billy.
One of the bands I enjoy, Linkin Park, they came.
Classic.
They came to the United Center back then. And I was like, I've never been to a concert. I want to go see them. I've never experienced a concert in my entire life. Yeah. People who I were supposedly friends with, they're like, oh yeah, we all should go. We'll get tickets. We'll have a good time. And of course, like the day before, they all like, no, we never bought our tickets. And I was like, I bought mine.
Yeah, because I came for a good time. Like, I ain't missing this.
I didn't even know what GA stand for, like general admission. Like, I've never been to a concert. So I'm like looking up what terminology and just like what to buy, what to get.
And the internet was in its infancy at this time.
Yeah.
Like, where?
And so I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Do I still go? Like, and my dad goes, go, have a good fucking time. And just enjoy it.
And if you meet people there, dope. If you don't, also dope. So
like I'm sitting there and I get to the floor and I'm just like, I'm soaking it all in. I'm looking at like the banners. I'm looking at the merchandise.
You hear the audience.
And then like they bring on the opener and the other performers for the main act. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, so this is what a concert is. And then like, I'm like, do I record? Do I not record? Do I stand here? Do I like what do I
put
do?
My hand up?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do?
Like, what do I do? So like, I just did.
From when I love this story, I love this already. Keep going.
I did all the above. I put my hand up. I put my hand down. I put my camera up. I put my camera away. I look this way. I look that way. I do this way. I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
And like, my dad goes, if you don't go, you're going to regret it.
Period.
And so,
what a baller.
I want to say from that day, it's kind of where it all started, where it's like, do I want to do stuff with people? Absolutely. I think it'd be a good time.
Love
but
it.
I'm not going to let them dictate me having fun. Like,
or if you do it or not.
Like, I'm gonna still go do it.
Yeah.
You want to come? Cool. I love to have your company. You don't want to come? Awesome. I'll go by myself.
But I'm also not going to hold your hand too. Like, if they didn't buy their tickets, like what were they hoping? You were going to like check in with them every couple of days to make sure they bought it? Like, that's babysitting. All right. Be an adult. Have some autonomy over yourself. Yeah. Our boy Billy came to turn up at some Linkin Park, and if you ain't there, then you're a loser. Okay, because Linkin Park banger, dude. Especially what year was this?
2000. So I was 21. So I want to say 2011.
Yeah, dude. Linkin Park was like peaking at that time. We were vibing. Emo vibes were flying. And little emo Billy came to turn up. And his friends, they slept at the wheel.
So, I mean, and then from that day, it kind of opened up to me just doing other concerts by myself.
Yeah.
Other road trips, movies, ballpark, whatever it is, I'm doing it by myself.
I want you to know, in my mind also, like little Billy in 2011 is just crowd surfing while I become so numb, I can feel you there. Like that, dude, choice. I'd love that for you.
Like, and then I think my dad offered to pick me up, and he was like, "How was it?" And my voice was so fucking hoarse. Like, it sounded like I was been smoking menthols for 50 years. Like, it was that bad.
Hi, my name is Billy.
But yeah,
I had fun at Lincoln Park.
That literally what it was. And I think from that day, I just kind of looked at it. Things was like, I don't need other people around to have fun. Do I enjoy it? Absolutely. But I'm cool with doing it by myself.
Heck yeah, dude. Learn to be cool flying solo. Learn to be cool with it.
And I think that's
liberating.
I think that's one thing as just people alone, like learn to love yourself. Like, don't be afraid to go to a place by yourself.
Yeah. One of my other jobs where like I'm on cruises and stuff, like emceeing and stuff like that. Like some of the we have like a VIP table, and honestly, some of those VIP tables are by themselves or just like solo individuals, and like they look like they're having the most peaceful evening ever. They have their fancy meal because we do like 3-course meal type shit. Yeah. So like they're fine dining 3-course meals. They just have a book. They're listening to the music, enjoying their food, sitting outside looking at the skyline. I'm just like, that honestly sounds and looks fantastic. Yeah. You don't need anybody. You don't need anybody.
I feel that way too. Like there will be days like I'm off and I'm like, fuck, man, like let's see if someone will hit me up, and then I get hit up and I'm like, fuck, no, don't hit me up.
I'd be like, you know what? How dare you hit me up? How dare you hit me
like
up?
someone invite me to something, then I get invited. I'm like, no, never mind.
It's like you want to get invited just to be able to deny it. Just so I know you're thinking about me, but I don't want to hang out with you.
I don't want to hang out with you, yeah.
I'm just kidding. If you ever invited me to stuff, I do appreciate it.
But yeah,
I still won't go though.
It doesn't change the fact I will not go.
Or it's like when they invite you to something and the thing they say, you're just like, I am not going to find any fun in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether if it's, and I'm not
going to force myself to not have fun, just to be around people, just to be around people. Like, I'm just not going to do it. Not going to do it. And I'm a firm believer, you never say no to the first experience the first time. And I believe that, hey, subject yourself to new stuff all the time. But like, I just, especially if it's something that's pretty common, like I don't really care to just go to a bar and talk.
Right.
I don't. I just don't give a shit. Most of the time, the alcohol is way too expensive. We're going to talk about stuff we've already talked about, or worse, stand awkwardly in silence and try to find something to talk about that's not work or the weather. And I'm just going to wish I was home the whole time. Mm-hmm. So I might as well just skip the middleman and just stay home. Anything else, Ron? Any other hot takes from that one? There was a lot. There was a lot there.
There was a lot there. Yeah, that kind of like
so much friendship flying around. It's palpable.
Well, I don't even want to bring it back down.
But, dude, bring it. Dude, give us some downers, baby.
It was just like some follow ups. Like, sure. So she's asking like, how do I go about relearning love, safety, and self-worth after the brutal start?
Love yourself first. Learn to love yourself. That I think is always exactly what we were just talking about. Like, absolutely. Learn to have a good time with yourself. You'll learn a lot about yourself, your interests, what you like, what you don't like. They might have changed from when you were younger, and they probably did and should. But like, love yourself first, and then you'll find that it's so easy, I think, to like even extend the olive branch to begin loving other people. Mm-hmm. But if you don't love yourself, it's just gonna be a hot mess.
Yeah. That was a good one. It was gonna be like something was gonna open up a lot.
Mm-hmm. I love take us there, Ron. Take us on an emotional journey. Good luck to that person too. You know what? It's a process, but you'll make it. We believe in you. Nothing's too bad to not be able to pull yourself back from, I believe. But gentlemen, time for the next story. We ready? All right. Our next one is titled, "Why am I so bad at career and money? Nothing interests me. I feel blank. Seeking advice. I'm 27 and feel completely lost when it comes to career and money. Nothing really interests me in the traditional sense. Jobs, corporate work, or even chasing money just doesn't spark anything inside of me. I've always been more into personal growth, self-discovery, and deep thinking. But when it comes to employment, I just go blank. I don't know what to do, where to begin, or what even suits me. It's not that I'm lazy or unwilling. I want to build something meaningful. But every time I look at job options, I just feel either empty, overwhelmed, or uninterested. I feel like I'm weird or wired differently, and I'm scared that this will ruin my future if I don't figure it out soon. Has anyone else felt this way? How do you move forward when nothing traditional seems to fit? I'd love to hear from people who found their way through similar confusion. Sometimes I wonder, is there anything wrong with me? Am I just not built for this system? How do people find motivation to do work they don't believe in? Can I make a living doing something I actually care about? Or is that a fantasy? I'll let you guys start it off.
I mean, I think you are just you're outside the rat racing mindset, so that's good. That's not like a negative thing.
Yeah, I was gonna. That's honestly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say step one: good questions to start asking yourself.
Yeah.
Like these are the fact that you're having these thoughts is good. You're questioning shit.
Right.
Question everything.
Yeah, right. Because now you're not comfortable with like, okay, wake up, go to work, 9 to 5, come home, do this, do that. It's like no, like you want something more for yourself in your life.
If there's a real version of the Matrix, homie, you broke yourself out of it.
Yeah,
You're asking the
you
questions.
realized,
Like,
right.
you know, yeah.
And that does
Otherwise,
feel a little weird.
otherwise you just become complacent and you just
Right.
start to coast. And nobody who wants that at 27.
Right. And then I think like the way you feel is because that's what you knew. You were like, okay, this is what I have to do. And then you got there and you were like, oh, fuck, this is not what I want to do. This is not where I see my life going. You know, and then you start questioning everything. Like, oh, do I really want to do this? Or like, maybe I should have did this. Like, oh, I regret, taking this job. And it's like all the fucking thoughts start coming through. But no, I think you you found something.
Yeah, like you're probably in the precursor of what most would call an existential crisis. But I want you to know that it's, for one, not all. I don't believe, at least personally, that all existential crises are bad. You can learn a lot from an existential crisis, and ones like these where you're asking a lot of questions and you're pushing back on maybe a lot of things you were familiar with. That maybe you're like, why do I do this, or why did I like this, or why was I told that this was the way when it's not making me happy? Great questions to ask. They make you sad, but they're great questions, and they're at least questions that are going to steer you into a solution to your problem, which I think is the hard thing. And I think is sometimes where I think people get stuck is like they feel sad, but they're not asking themselves the questions that they need to ask to find a solution. And you're doing that. Is there something wrong with me? Hey, no, there isn't. But the fact that you're asking that is good. You're perceptive of the world around you, and you're being perceptive of the role that you play in the world outside of just your own existence. That's good. That means you're not heartless. You're not a dick.
You're not soulless. You're not a robot.
You're considerate. Right. Yeah, you are considering other factors outside of your own existence, and that is a good thing. You want to
have a life that you can truly love.
Yeah,
and be happy about it. Like wake up every morning and be like, I love my life. I feel good.
And one that I do, the reason I picked this one is because of this question specifically. Am I not built for this system? I get this feeling because I was never an academically savvy individual. Like I was a hard worker in school, but I wasn't like a good student. I was rocking B's and C's. You know what I mean? I wasn't academically savvy in that way. And in today's job market, in today's world, the jobs that tend to make the biggest impact on you financially, which is the only way to get ahead and the only way to feel safe in our country now, is to be financially stable. And those jobs often require you to be very academically savvy, or just be someone who is very academically inclined and, very attuned in that way. And I'm not, never was, probably never will be. I'm more of an extrovert. I'm a social person. I like to entertain people. I do a lot of MC work. I teach group fitness, which is all very presentational, very performative is what I like to say. And those jobs don't tend to pay well. They don't. It's a skill for some reason people, I think, have evolved to believe doesn't need to be worth that, or isn't worth that much, or it's a skill set that they believe, oh, anybody can do this, so why are we going to pay someone a lot of money to do this? And in reality, it is a skill that not everyone can do. You could be the smartest guy in the room, but if you can't present your knowledge in a way that is engaging and people are able to give a shit about, it almost doesn't matter how fucking smart you are. Because no one's going to care about what you have to say if you can't present it in a way that is palpable and engaging. So it sucks because I've often felt this way, being this way, that like, oh, the system, I don't know if I'll ever really be successful in our current world and what we deem as important. But I will say there is a way. I don't know this person personally or what they're like in their personal life, but I do believe that there is a way to make a living doing what you love, no matter what that is. I think it's maybe a little bit unfair that you may or may not, depending on the type of person you are, have to work twice as hard as the person next to you if they do have those skill sets. But I personally think that it's worth the risk, and you're still going to find yourself happier having made that transition, or having at least tried for something that makes you emotionally happy on top of financial, even if that means struggling in other ways. You know, I don't think anybody gets to escape the struggle completely. It's just, what type of struggle
do you want?
Right. Or what type of struggle are you going to be more perceptive? Or are you going to be more inclined to experience? Like, you know, as like, let's just using Ron and I as an example, like Ron might be super academically smart. I might be super performative smart. He is never going to struggle at an Excel spreadsheet the way I'm going to fucking struggle at doing a basic Excel spreadsheet. But put a mic in my hand and get me in front of a crowd, like get me to present something you need me to present, dude, I'm on it, dude. Yeah. Whereas like that might not be Ron's strengths.
No.
Yeah, where that might not be
you
Ron's
strengths. You hear me talking on this, like it's a struggle for me. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
yeah, it's a skill.
It's not an easy thing.
Yeah, it's a skill that you have to develop, and you know, if you want to be if you want to be a more traditionally smart person, or what society is sort of deemed as traditionally smart, like you can develop those skills too. But for me personally, I didn't feel like that was an avenue I really wanted to go down. I felt like I was changing too much of myself, or I just didn't care, to be honest with you. Just didn't care. So you are built for this system. You know, we're all built for the system. It just, sometimes it does feel like the system is kind of stacked against us. Yeah. You know, but you're not lazy. You're not lazy. You just want more than just the mundane rat race.
Yeah, exactly. You want more than 9-to-5 grind life and make somebody else rich kind of thing. Like,
exactly.
You know,
start a podcast.
Start a podcast.
Yeah, start a podcast.
Yeah. So we did.
Yeah, this we're trying to do. Yeah. You know, we'll see. But hey, you know,
none of us want to keep working for the rest of our lives to make other people rich.
Yeah, why? Yeah, I'm tired of making other people a lot of money. I want to just, you know, and honestly, like,
I want to make myself rich.
I want to make, you know, but even that, like, you know, if I'm never going to be rich, I might as well like not be rich doing something that I at least kind of enjoy.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think that's the way to look at it is like, you know, would you rather be rich and doing something you fucking hate every day, or would you have liked to enjoy mostly your day to day and maybe live a little bit more scaled back? And to me, I'd rather enjoy the daily life and live scaled back than maybe enjoy a week or a couple weeks of my life because every other day I hate, you know, just to make money.
Yeah. And like I came across this video about somebody talking about like the rich people they sacrifice so much time being rich, but then they'll sacrifice even more time trying to be richer, right? So you can go from like having 10 million to having 20 million. Yeah, that sounds good. But then how much of your life are you giving away, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like now you had that 10 million and you were comfortable. You had time to see your family, your friends, do things, take vacation. Now it's like,
make stories.
I want to make more money. And all you care about, you get to a point where all you care about is making that money.
Yeah.
You sacrifice everything else. You know, don't get me wrong, like grind.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely, like make your money. But like, don't sacrifice too much of your life. And then by the time you're like 67, you're like, yeah, I got a lot of money. But it's like, what'd you do? You know, you're happy.
All those recitals you missed, all those ball games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like we saw a twinkle in Billy's eye. Those ball games.
Yeah. He was waiting to say that.
Oh, man.
Like, I'm not missing my kids' ball game.
I saw a single tear go down Billy's eye.
Yeah, those ball games, those recitals, those
summertime sunshine.
Those band
concerts, you know, weekend trips, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you got to ask yourself, what kind of story do you want to tell by the time you get old? Do you want to tell a story of like, hey, when I became 18, I worked every day until I was 60 and now I'm happy? It's like, or do you want to be like, yo, I did a bunch of cool shit through my 20s, 30s, 40s, and maybe I'm still working at 70, but at least you have some great stories to tell because of it. Like,
and you can look back and smile.
When do you want the good times to happen? Do you want them to happen when you're old and potentially too old to really enjoy that stuff? Or do you want to enjoy it right now when you're an able-bodied individual who can turn up and drink all day, lit all night, jump off a cliff, skydive, backflip off a bridge? I don't know what you want to do, but you're not going to be able to do that shit when you're 80. And so if you're waiting until that, if you're just making money and expecting to have a good time at that point, dude, it's gonna too little too late.
I definitely I wouldn't want to hear those stories where it's like, oh, my dad couldn't be there because I work all day.
He was
exactly. Oh, right.
Oh, he was off at a business meeting than my graduation, or he was off trying to make a deal and missed my dance competition, whatever it was.
Yeah. I feel like
dance competition.
I feel like we have a hidden dancer inside you, Billy. I feel like dance. You're like that recital, that dance competition. I'll be like, yo, Billy, is there a story you haven't told us?
Nah.
I mean, I think we knew I was a dancer, but Billy cutting it.
Is there 3 dancers in here right now?
Dude, that's our next podcast. 3 dancers, 1 mic. Just kidding.
That sounds something a little bit more dirty.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what? Stay tuned. That will not be happening. We down for one more story, gentlemen?
Sure.
One more story. All right. This one is also from the Deciding to Be Better subreddit, seeking advice, feeling uncertain about a big move for a new job. Advice?
Do it.
Hey, everyone. I was born and raised in Ohio. First off, I'm sorry about that.
Yep.
And I'm and I'm nearing my 30s, not leaving my 30s. And I'm nearing my 30s. I've been out of work for a few months and searching for my next opportunity. I recently got a job offer in the Bay Area. Now we're talking. At first, I was excited and it felt like a big break after months of stress and searching. But now that the move is getting closer, the excitement has faded and I'm feeling more dread than anything. This isn't the first time I'd had an opportunity to go out there. I had an internship in the Bay Area before and loved it. Back then, I couldn't stop talking about it regarded to the energy, the work, the new environment, but this time it feels totally different. I feel disconnected from the idea of starting over. I'm worried I won't like the job, or worse, that I'll regret leaving behind the familiarity, my support system, and friends. It's a weird feeling, and I know change is part of life, and sometimes discomfort is part of growth, but I can't tell if this is fear holding me back or my gut telling me something important. Has anyone else been through something like this? How do you know when it's the right time to take the leap or when to hold off? Any honest things would help.
I would say it's a fear kicking in.
I think, you're just nervous. Like, you're afraid of the unknown. Like, you don't know what to expect and you don't know. You're worried about failure, right?
Yeah.
And when you do that, you're like, okay, am I going to fail? What if I fail?
Yeah, internships and jobs are 2 different things. So I get when you went to the Bay Area for the internship, it probably felt very safe, very like, okay, cool, I'll be back, right? There's this idea of like, okay, I'm doing this thing, but there's a timeline on it where you'll be back to familiarity eventually. And this is a little bit more open-ended. It's a life move. You very well may never come back to Ohio, which is
you're not missing much.
Yeah. I mean, why would you want to go back? Just kidding. I'm not kidding, actually. That's Ohio. I'm sorry if anybody's listening from Ohio, but it's Ohio.
The thing is that got me, as I mentioned, he or she had a support system. So it's like, even if you do go there and come back, they're going to support you no matter what. Even if you go only do it for a year, like, I'm not feeling it, they're going to have your back.
Yeah, this ain't like the years of the Oregon Trail where you left home and you had to send a letter that took 12 months to get to your family. Like, this ain't Oregon Trail times. Like, we got text, email.
You can just text them, hey,
yeah, you can slide into their DMs and say, hey, I need a lifeline, whether it be emotional or whatever, and people can get back to you with a quickness. You know what I mean?
Shout out to the people who play Oregon Trail.
Dude, I love me some Oregon Trail, dude. Your boy getting that dysentery.
But yeah, I think it just comes down to the fear of like, you're making a completely big life-changing situation. And of course you're going to feel scared. It's going to happen,
Yeah.
It's that it's going to do a lot good than worse.
You're going to learn a lot about yourself more than you're going to learn a lot of really great things about yourself, having put yourself in this uncomfortable position and overcoming it. It's almost like you're kind of like the opposite of the previous people, where like everyone that we've talked about up until this point has been addicted to trauma, and you're not. You're addicted to familiarity and what feels safe and what's not trauma. And that's also not a bad thing, but there's also a lot to learn from putting yourself through stress reasonable stress, like a move to a new state or a new country, new job, new whatever. Like it's the same thing, but in reverse. There's a lot of stuff you can learn. No shade if you want to stay with what's familiar.
Yeah.
I can tell you there is a dark side to that too by staying in an area that's too familiar. You don't grow. You don't grow. There's a lot of things you miss out on, like an important skill that I think is important to learn when you're young. And by young, I mean when you're a kid, even through your mid-20s, is accountability. And when you're in a place that's familiar, there's always going to be a part of that accountability that's taken off your shoulders because you have such a close, tight-knit support system around you to be able to take that accountability piece off you, when sometimes it's really important that you learn that accountability and you feel the weight of that accountability, because that's going to help enforce smarter decision-making later, because you're going to have made a decision that had repercussions that might put you in a worse position, but you're going to overcome that, and you're going to go at the next hard experience with a deeper understanding of what consequences can happen, and you're going to make much more informed, educated decisions later. And those are hard skills to learn when you're in that environment that feels overly safe. I moved away from home. I dropped out of college after my second year. Didn't know anyone in Chicago because I'm from Washington State. And was like, you know what? I just want to move to Chicago because it's not where I'm familiar and it's not where I'm from. And I could say for as many days as I've gone to bed crying, I've had to sell furniture to pay rent, I've had an empty fridge, I would eat fucking tortillas for a meal and Gatorade. That was like breakfast, it was just tortillas and Gatorade. And I'd go to bed hungry. Like through all of those hardships, I don't regret going and making that jump. I haven't regretted that a single day of my life, being like, you know what, I wish I didn't do it because I wouldn't have done that. It's like, no, I'm glad I did it because I experienced those things. There's almost like there's this need to like of understanding yourself, of knowing like, hey, I know that if I need to hustle and grind and freaking beast out on something, I know I have that in me because I've done it before.
Right.
And if you don't know, you're in that position where you've never done it before, so you don't know if you can handle it. But you can handle it. A lot of people do. It's a big change, but you're gonna be in my opinion, you're gonna be a much stronger person having done it and achieved and overcome it. Even if you end up hating this job and moving back to Ohio, like.
No, yeah, it will definitely help you, even make other decisions or get past other, obstacles in your life. It's like, okay, I was able to do that, so now I know I can do this.
What's next?
Right, yeah. So it's like you can use that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I told you guys, my friend that I had moved to Chicago with had reached out to me like a month ago, and I had kind of mentioned that like they had felt that they didn't give Chicago a real chance and stuff like that. And it's like, and it's because things got tough, and they ended up moving back to Washington, because things got tough. And it's like that kind of toughness and that type of reality smacking you in the gob is it's something you have to learn to overcome, and you can't learn it other than being in it. School, I think that's something where I think school cannot prepare you for that. They can tell you, oh yeah, you're going to learn a lot, explore yourself, adventures. But like thank you. But the reality of really putting yourself in that position where you need to grow is just no one can prepare you for that. They just can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my hot take on that. I had one comment. When I get scared, the comment reads, when I get scared like this, I try to focus on how unhappy I currently am and let that be my driving force. You can always stay at this job for a year, and if you don't like it, use it as experience and start applying for other jobs that you couldn't have before you took this one. You can always move back to. It's your life. Take the leap, though. In 50 years, you'll look back and you'll be so proud of yourself for taking a chance on bettering your life for yourself.
Absolutely.
Period. That's the other thing too. Like in today's job market, where it's like you don't get rewarded for staying at a job longer. It's almost like a penalty if you stay at a job for too long. They're absolutely right in this comment. Like you can do this job for 6 months and use it as leverage to get a better job in Ohio, probably. And like make, especially that Ohio money, like your dollar goes a lot further in Ohio than in the Bay Area. Yeah. You could probably get a real good job in Ohio and live like a fucking baller. But taking this job, especially in like especially when I think a lot of, and you guys can, I'm curious what you guys think about this too. Like, I almost feel like jobs almost appreciate an outside perspective more than an internal one. Where like, if it's like, oh, especially like if you're from like Ohio, right? They would see an application from someone from the Bay Area and be like, oh shit, we need to pay that person a lot because it's just not here. And we want that. And it's like so weird.
It is, but I think it's because that the idea of like the fresh eyes, right? Like, what can they bring that we don't already do? New ideas, creative, things that they can implement into the company that we already don't have.
See, so and I get that. It just feels like sometimes that like it's there's almost no guarantee that they have a really good perspective. It's just like they're literally getting paid because they're just an outside perspective. Whether their perspective is a good one or they actually have a good interview or ideas that have actually like, or like any sort of like data to prove that they've driven a sort of result. It's just like, oh, but you're a different perspective, so we're going to go with you. And it's like, if that's the only reason, that feels like a weird only reason.
Yeah.
I have a very hot take on internships, but I'm curious, what like internships in general, what are your guys' opinions of them?
I've never had one, so I'm not quite sure.
Like, and internships out of college, internships for adults as far as like learning experience. Most of the time internships are either unpaid or you get some sort of a stipend for them, or they're a limited time, or it's like, oh, we pay you this much for this much work. And then afterwards you may have a job after that.
Right. I think it's just leverage for companies, to be honest. Like, they don't have to pay somebody to come in and do stuff. There's not even guarantee they have to hire you. They don't. They can use you for labor. And then if you end up as being a good candidate, okay, yeah, we could bring them on. But it's like, how long do you have to work to get that? Right? You're working for free. And like, straight out of, like, you're an adult. You need to live. You need to make a living. You got to pay bills. You have to eat. Like, I think internships are, I don't know, they need to be paid. I think they need to be paid.
I think unpaid internships should be illegal.
Yeah.
Period. I think it's glorified free labor. And I think the fact that we allow that, and as for being as expensive as our world is right now, to even humor the idea of like, oh, we're going to do an internship and it's going to be free. We're not going to pay them. We're just going to pay them an experience. Yeah. I think your business has no business being a business. That was a lot of business in one sense, but your business has no business being a business if you're thriving off of free internships or unpaid internships and paying an experience, period. I will not support your business if that is what you do. I think it's manipulative. I think it's effed up. I think it's a waste of time. I've heard of this being a thing before, but I actually experienced it for the first time where I applied for a job. And one of the questions was, okay, knowing what you know about our business, what are 3 ideas that you would implement to better our business? And I literally wrote in the text box, I don't work for free. And like, if you want my ideas, you're going to hire me first. I've heard of that being a thing, but I've never actually seen it in real life, but it is a thing. People will literally ask you in interviews, oh, what ideas do you have to better our business? Because they're just fishing to implement them without paying you for them. And that to me I think that should be an illegal question to ask at interviews. You should not have to ask someone for their ideas about how to better your business, period.
Yeah, until you hire them. Until you pay them for that, you shouldn't be getting that kind of information.
It's safe to assume I did not get an email back from this job. But I was like,
probably were like, damn, he knows too much.
Yeah. Well, I literally was just like, nope. I was like, if you want my ideas, you'll have to pay me for them. Send. And I was like, cool. That's not happening. I think unpaid internships are a joke. I think it should be illegal. And I know that's a hot take. I know some people, I'm sure, have done unpaid internships and have gone on to have great careers. But I think if you're working in any capacity, you need some moolah, you need some De Niro.
Yeah,
some
and I
ducats.
just don't. And plus, internships, like, how long are they? I mean,
they vary. I don't think there's a limit as how long an internship can be or can't be. Someone from our producing team will have to fact check us. Just kidding. We don't have a producing team. It's just the 3 guys that will fact check later and maybe put at the end of this episode, maybe not.
We are the producing team.
Yeah, so
we're the editors, the producing team, the podcast cast.
Yeah, we're the whole kit and caboodle.
The groupies.
And we're our own groupies. Yes.
Whenever I think of internship, I always think of the movie with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson.
You mean Wedding Crashers?
No. There was a movie that they did called The Internship. I think it was they were working for Google.
The intern.
See, I feel like I'm thinking of the
Gonna look
interview,
this
and I'm
up.
thinking James Franco and Seth Rogen, the interview.
No. I think that there was a movie called The Internship, and it was with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, and they were trying to get a job for Google because I think they were design some kind of web design.
We're gonna live fact check Billy right now. We're gonna live fact check him right now.
The internship was in 2013.
Starring?
Yep. Let's see. Let's get to the cast. Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, Sean Levy.
Damn. Dude, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Billy, you know what? I take back everything I said about you in this podcast. I didn't even say anything mean.
yeah.
But I take it all back. But I take it all back. Thinking that you were a dumbass who had no idea what this movie was. I take it all back, Billy.
Yeah.
Actually, now watching it, does look familiar.
Yeah. I mean, Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson dominated the late 2000s.
They were some kind of tech company or like design company, and they got let go. And they were like, we're in our 40s or 50s, whatever their age group was. And they were working with a bunch of 20-year-olds at Google. And if I remember, the movie split them up into teams, and they had to they interned from Google, and then they eventually got really good to the point I think they offered a job, or they said, fuck it, we're just going to create our own thing.
Damn, spoiler alert for how when the movie come out?
2013. It's been out.
It's
Dude,
been about 12
spoiler
years.
alert for an over 10-year-old movie. So if you didn't want the internship spoiled for you, skip that part. Or not. Any other parting words, guys? This, I think, was a fun time.
Yeah,
reading some Reddit stories. If you want, like I said, if you want to submit some stories, if you want to talk about your ruts on the pod, we'd love to hear from you. If you want to submit out of the rut at yahoo.com.
And if you want to be invited to, do a live episode with us, then
We were more than happy to take you on.
So here's what we're going to do. If you want to be interviewed for an episode and you do something cool and we could talk about your job and all the ins and out of it, email us at outoftherut.com. Give us a 3-paragraph email about what you do and what your favorite food is. And we'll read them and we'll decide if we like you enough to bring you on.
And which Harry Potter house you would be sorted in.
Yeah. Definitely put your Potter house.
who's your favorite Dragon Ball Z character?
Duh. And if you could, I got nothing. I drew a blank there.
What's your favorite sports car? Would you choose a Skyline?
Yeah,
or
you
a Ferrari?
have to tell me your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card.
That's actually a really good one.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
a good one.
you have to.
Shit.
And which Pokemon starter would you pick?
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
And which generation, and which
Yeah.
starter. Yeah.
Because depending on your answer, you will be judged.
Yeah, we will decide who gets put on based off of these answers.
Yeah.
There are right and wrong answers. They're not opinion based. Who's your favorite starter and why is it Swampert? Because Swampert's OP. And just like that, we're going to call that a wrap. This is your boy Axe.
Billy.
And I'm Ron.
And this was Rut Reads Reddit. We'll be dropping episodes every Tuesday. Looking forward to y'all joining us on the ride. Stay lit. Never quit.